I support President Obama, and I also support his initiative to pass an affordable health care reform bill that would provide health coverage to every American as a right and not a privilege. I watched our president on two networks discussing being interviewed about his health care reform initiative. I also watched the Republican response to the President Obama's interview. And three of the Republicans that were interviewed stated in part that we should scrap the current efforts in the House and the Senate to pass health care reform and start from scratch, that we should start over. They also stated that the health care reform bill should not include a public option and it should include their framework for health care reform. And I say to the American people, what is wrong with this picture? Isn't this the same party who told us that by giving tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans that we would have a trickle down economic and that that would be good for the country, that would be good for our economy? Aren't we now in a recession? And didn't we face the greatest economic crisis in our life other than the Great Depression? Isn't this the same party that invaded Iraq and also told us that we would find weapons of mass destruction in Iraq as justification for invading that country? Did we find weapons? Of course we didn't. Now the same party want us to trust them to pass health care reform when they were in office for 8 years and they did not address it. Secondly, this is the same party that the voters rejected in 2006. They voted for change in 2006 by making the House a representative, a majority of Democrats, that the Democrats controlled the House after the 2006 election. So, and to block that effort, the Republicans opposed initiative from the House leadership, the Democratic leadership, so that the Democrats were not able to give the people the change that they voted for in 2006. So in 2008, the voters got angry again, and they voted even more so for the Democrats. The Democrats now control the House and the Senate. We have 60 senators in the Senate, and even more, I think maybe 40 additional members were voted in 2008 into the House. So the American people, the angry American people have already spoken. The Republicans are now talking about the angry demonstrators that are opposing the health care reform and also the teabaggers. And I say, well, fine, you have a right to demonstrate. But the American people, the angry people, have already gotten angry. We voted, and we voted for President Obama, his health care initiative, and his vision for this country. And I say to the president and to the Democrats, it's time that we realize that we've already spoken and that Republicans, as they said, this is going to be your Waterloo. If they stop you here, they will break you. But they have no intentions, they don't have any intentions of supporting a health care reform bill. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. So let's get it done for the American public, the American people, and then don't worry about 2010. It'll take care of itself. And just like we rejected them in 2006, Republicans in 2008, we will also reject them again in 2010. Thank you very much.